Learned today in the morning, if it is possible to elaborate on that. You said you wouldn't elaborate, but I was just curious.
Last night, while thinking about this, one statement I made today is that as a leader, your job is to create different culture, create a new culture. And when I joined the company that I'm in now and the team that I have now, for the first year, I was focusing on building new culture. Then about 6 months ago, I lost track of that. And I became focused so much on the results, on the numbers, on the details, and started turning into a mean guy, real mean guy. And the team members of mine will see this now. They know I'm a hothead. My DMD sir knows I'm a hothead. I get agitated very quickly and I can get very passionate despite learning a lesson in Vietnam. But I lost track of building culture. During this time that I was breaking my focus from building the culture, I actually lost my touch with the team and why I'm here. And as such, when I leave here today, and I'm on a flight to Chittagong tonight, when I re-engage with my team from here, I will put more weight on the culture building than on the delivering of numbers. Numbers are important, but people build the numbers. My job is to build people, not the numbers.
Thank you.
I'll answer your question.
Basically, you compare those Vietnamese people as big bamboo, and they actually like would stand there and not really care about your instructions. My question to you is specifically what you really teach there, so that they actually listen to you and follow the instructions.
What I did there that made them sense. Okay. Firstly, I stopped screaming at them. I stopped threatening them with unemployment. I stopped letting them lose face. In Vietnamese culture, there's something called losing face. What does that mean? If I hurt you or make you look bad in front of your peers, you lose face. You lose status, and with that you also lose heart. And naturally, the guy who makes you lose face, you lose a relationship. So the first thing I did is I stopped trying to beat the smoke out of them. Instead, I embraced it. I sat down. I talked. I talked less. I listened more. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 mouth. So I looked more, listened more, and spoke less. By doing that, I found the Vietnamese embraced me like one of their own. I found the cooperation level shot through the roof, meaning when Pepsi came and carpet bombed our bridge, when the competition did something that hit our market share, I did not have to kick, scream, shout, and fight. The team would pick up their bicycles and they will rebuild that bridge without me having to push them. So stop fighting and threatening, screaming, embrace them, made them part of my team. And thirdly, I had to learn to sing. In Vietnam, karaoke is very popular. Now I told you earlier, if I sing, I'll empty the auditorium. But when I stopped saying no, when they invited me for karaoke on a Friday night, I lost face and sat down and sang my heart out. I found that also the next day when we were in the office or in the market, they responded very well to me, showing that I can show losing my face in front of them and trusting.
Good. Thank you, sir.
My name is Chowdury Kibria and I'm studying in the 3rd year in LA. So firstly, sir, thank you for taking the time to speak to us, and we apologize for the lack of audience. So my question was, there must have been many challenges you faced while operating in Bangladesh that are unique to this country. So if you narrowed down all those challenges to one fundamental problem, what would that be, and more importantly, how to solve it?
What was the problem and how did I solve it? So I'm going to answer, how did I solve it first? I haven't solved it yet. Like I said to you, the last 3 months have been an absolute nightmare. And But really to the point where I was losing sleep and pulling my hair and throwing tantrums like a 10-year-old, tantrums like a 3-year-old at a meeting in Barishal just before I had the speech to the students, where I lost my temper and I walked out of a room, which I apologize to my team for. What is the problem or the diagnosis? You said, what is the problem that I've identified? I'm going to say, what is the opportunity for change? I cannot generalize, but within the team and the groups that I work with, I find stagnation is a problem or a challenge. Meaning, nothing happens unless it is followed meticulously. So if today we sit here and my instruction to you is, please move that table from there to the cafeteria. And I want that in the cafeteria by tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I walk into the cafeteria, guess what I find? The table is still here. And then I call you and say, where's the table? Oh, sorry sir, I'll do it now. Then 5 minutes later, the table is there. So, the challenge I'm facing and what I have to work on in the coming months is how to turn that lack of ownership, that stagnation where people stop and wait to be pushed. I have to figure out how to cross that bridge. And like I said, I think building the culture and taking the cultural approach will be a better approach than I've been taking for the last few months. I've been trying to kick that table to the other side and it hasn't worked. So, answer your question?
Thank you, sir.
Sir, Mr. Business Administration from 27 batch, and we welcome you here and thank you for the seminar that you conducted. My question was that in your speech, you talked about the Vietnamese people, the Palestinian people, and how they are passionate our life. What would you like to tell about our people and our culture? And as we are the ones who are working with you, the Bengal people, what do you think we should be, how we should be to adapt to others so that we meet your expectations?
Thank you for the question. And you are the first one to put me on the spot. The lesson I've learned, don't wrestle a crocodile while you are inside the water. You know what that means? You are in the crocodile pond, he's in his environment, and if you look for a fight, you are going to get eaten. So I'm in the pond right now, I'm surrounded by Bangladeshis in the Okay, I've learned, just generally, that the difference between being brave and being stupid is very, very thin. And I've not always been able to judge when I'm being brave or I'm making a very bad mistake. So right now I believe I'm going to be brave. My experience with Bangladeshi people is that you guys don't back down in an argument. You move through the traffic and you see $100,000 SUV and a $100 rickshaw van bump each other. The rickshaw van will not say, sorry sir. The guy in the $100,000 SUV will not ignore it, turn and move on. They get into a screaming fight right there. So the ability or the willingness to back down in a fight, I don't see. And that makes it fairly challenging in a certain way because you know the term war, W-A-R, means we are right. So if you have two groups of people, each one saying we are right, and I say we are right, ultimately if there's no compromise, you know where it ends up, in a war. So what I would try to do, if I could, is in the cultural influence, if I could teach people that there are times where we shouldn't take ourselves so seriously. If I made a mistake, I'm driving a $100,000 SUV and I just had a knock with a rickshaw van. At that moment, there's no reason for me to get out and scream at the poor guy. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. Same for the rickshaw rider. No need to pick the fight. So sometimes it's good not to engage. Sometimes it's good to just say, I'm sorry, and secondly, Bangladeshi struggle with time, keeping time. So I have in Africa it's common, everywhere it's common. You know, we have something called African time. So 10 o'clock doesn't necessarily mean 10 o'clock. You find it across cultures, it's nothing unique, so it's not Bangladeshi. But I found in Bangladesh there's a conversion rate of time. Like you take dollar, $1 is 85 taka. Tomorrow it can be 83 taka, another day it's 86 taka. And if you take the dollar to Myanmar Kyat, or you take it to Indian rupee, there's different exchange rates, different conversion rates. Now I found with different people that I've engaged, every person that I start working with, I first have to calculate their time conversion rate. I have certain members of the team whose 1 minute means 10 minutes. 1 to 10. Then there are the ratio 1 to 3. They say, I'll see you in 30 minutes. Yeah, probably I'll see you in an hour and a half. So I had to learn time conversion rates. And every new person I engage with, it takes me a while to get to know the time conversion rate. A big issue with not keeping time is one of the things that I struggle to understand is whenever anyone is late, the reason is traffic. Now, like I said earlier about the egg, if I hold the egg and I leave it, what happens? It drops on the floor and breaks. And no matter how many times I do it, it's going to fall and break, right? The reasoning I have is, I know there will be traffic. There was traffic yesterday, there was traffic the day before yesterday, there was traffic 365 days, every day. So why today do I not plan for the traffic and be on time? Then I tried it. I tried to work out how to plan for traffic, and I came to a very shocking conclusion. In Bangladesh, I have never been able to be on time. I am either late or early. Being on time is impossible, I haven't felt. Like this morning, Mr. Kibria advised me the time to leave Dhaka, and that's the time I will arrive here. He said leave 9 o'clock, right? You know what time Shogun and I left? 7 o'clock. Why? In my reasoning, if I leave 9, I could reach here by 12 o'clock. So, if I leave 8, there's still Dhaka traffic. So, on advice from Shogun, let's get out of the traffic by 7. So we left 7 o'clock and we arrived here at 10 past 8. And I had the privilege of touring your campus and going around and seeing all the secret spots that I don't know if your faculty know. Secret spots. But yeah, not wrapping down in a fight. Need to learn to sometimes just let it go. Time management, plan for the traffic, plan for the eventuality. Yeah, Ines.
Sir, what do you think our strengths are that we should utilize?
Bangladeshi strength lies in the fact that you guys, once you agree on something, there is no force in the natural world that will change your mind. Your independence is an example, which we said just celebrate that. When a group of Bangladeshis have gotten together and they have an idea or a commitment on something, you guys will die for it. That is an incredible strength to have, the strength in unity. What we should caution about strength in unity, and I'm not making a political statement, please don't misunderstand me, but just because 100 people agree on something, it doesn't make it right. Right? So when we group together and we decide on something, we have to get some outside opinion to make sure that we are actually right before we done. Good.
Thanks, sir. Obviously, change is a part of their culture, some of their practices that existed before. What is that one technique, that one thing that that you've used to change their previous practices? What is there even a technique like that?
There is a definite technique, and the word is called care. C-A-R-E. if you truly care about those you are working with and working for and serving, then know it. People have the incredible ability to know when you are faking it. So, cross-culture, country to country, when people understand that you truly care, you get a lot more cooperation than faking. So if you're not planning on really getting involved in investing in your heart and the people, don't bother. Answer?
Thank you, sir.